What's up guys, Saxon Tech here, and today's video is about the MacBook Neo. First and foremost, what is the word Neo supposed to mean? Considerably as in new. Never heard it before, never heard the term, and so, I mean, other than Neo from Matrix, but other than that, it's a good name to have for a new laptop. So let me just say, let me start off by just saying, wow. This is the very first time in a long time that Apple has made a product something like this, very similar, over about 10 years ago, the 12-inch MacBook Pro, or I should say 12-inch MacBook, and now we're having something that's more compact and more budget friendly. The price of this thing is $599. Mind blown. I've never thought this would ever come, that Apple will sell a product this low in price. But you get what you get when it comes to specs. So other than that, it's a good price for $599, but if you are a student, which could be for college, high school, or maybe even middle school, you can get it for $499. It's still such a great price, a good deal for you to purchase a laptop at this rate. So the four colors are silver, blush, citrus, and indigo. These are great colors for a laptop. I never thought that I would see citrus on a laptop anytime soon now. I mean, even though back in days of the old Mac computers, they had different colors. They had an orange, they had a blue, they had a light blue. I don't know, they had a yellow maybe, I'm not too sure, or they had a red. But all those things seem to have it in that sort of colors that we haven't seen in such a very long time. The design on the MacBook happens to be aluminum with 60% recycling, which is really good for something that we need to keep the cost of trash stepping away from this planet, because everything else seems to be just piling up, and we need more people to use recycling material, so in order to keep it from going into getting greater and just keep it down. So the display is 13-inch with 500 nit with that vibrant, vivid color. So knowing that these new colors happens to be more brightness, we can see for certain videos I have watched, the lights happens to be very too dim. It's not bright enough. We have to take it out in the real world and take it out on some real bright lights to see if it can hold up and if you can see everything clear on the laptop. So the color of the keyboard is the same colors as the laptops, but just a bit brighter, so you can have just a little bit of view of contrast, so you can tell the difference. And the trackpad is more tactile and then less sensitive compared to the higher end of the MacBook computers. So inside the MacBook, you happen to have a 8 gigabytes of RAM, which significantly isn't really enough. But for the price, I think this is what your money's worth. And you could definitely use spreadsheet, Excel, Word. The only problem is that you're not going to be able to do any hardcore editing, because I don't think it's going to be able to handle. Maybe it can, but maybe not just as long. It can only hold enough for a certain period of time. But maybe if you could do it like a Photoshop, I'm pretty sure that'll be something that will definitely hold up on. And it also happens to have a Touch ID with the storage space of 512. The 256 does not come with a Touch ID, but that's a bummer, but that's okay. It's not a really much of a big thing. If you really need a Touch ID, then definitely go for the 512. The webcam is running at a 1080p, not a 720, which is a kind of relief, even though nowadays we are in the 8K form, but we don't really need an 8K or a 4K. I think a 1080p is just fine for a laptop to have, especially for this price that's running for right now. The MacBook has 4 rubber feet on each side, obviously, with the same color that matches the MacBook computer. It's the first time we see something like this, so there's no contrast on that one. Before, you have it on all black. Now you have it in the actual color and with more rubber feet on the bottom of it. It also comes with a side of speakers and 2 USB Type-C port and 1 headphone jack. Keep in mind that on the 2 USB Type-C port, there's one 3.0 and one 2.0, and sadly, there is no Thunderbolt. If you're okay with the price of this laptop, or if you want to go just a little bit higher end, then you can even just purchase a tablet, which is the iPad Air, with the accessory of a keyboard. But that's going to run you up about somewhere around over $1,000. But if you end up going for the 10th generation with all the colorful ones that they have, then you're going to be looking around the same price. But the thing about that one is that the storage on that tablet is at 128, which is the lowest, and you're running at that same price range. But on a MacBook computer, you're going at 256. Nowadays, everyone seems to have an iPhone. So if you're looking for something that happens to be more connectivity to have all your products that you have on your phone, and on your computer at home, and you want to take a laptop with you, this is it right here. You stay in the ecosystem because you can actually use all your iClouds and back them up in storage and just transfer it over into the laptop. All your personal data information, all your personal work, all your homework, all your essays, everything can be worked in. So people who are going to school, for students, it's a must-have. It's a good idea to have it. So another thing that happened about 10 years ago, a decade ago, is that Apple came out with a product called the MacBook computer for the 12-inch. And that thing's supposed to be much lighter, more compact, and thinner than the MacBook Air. Thinner, smaller, and it just so happens to keep it on the lighter side on the MacBook computer. It hasn't come up ever since. I think it's pretty much just discontinued. You could probably find one at the aftermarket, but you can never really find one in the Apple store. The only thing is that no one wasn't really buying it. It's a product that everyone, it just sits on the shelf and just everyone's just disappointed. But the ones that did buy it end up having to return it because it just wasn't filled the need of what they were looking for. And that thing costed $1,300. So it seems now with the new MacBook Neo, this is more like a refresh, like a rebirth to that 12-inch MacBook. You want to know what's also the same price as this MacBook Neo? The Mac Mini. It is exactly at $599 with a 10-core CPU and a 10-core GPU, and it also is an M4 chip, not an M4 chip Pro. But the only thing about that is you need to buy a separate monitor and keyboard and to run its full potential. The cool thing about the Mini is that you can add more RAM compared to the Neo. The Neo, you're just stuck at 8 gigabytes of RAM. You can't go any higher than that. But in the Mini, you go from 16, 24, and 32. So Apple also came out with other products that they're going to be announcing soon that will be releasing next week, and that is the Studio Display and the Studio Display XDR. They even have a new MacBook Pro, which is the M5, M5 Pro, M5 Max. They even came out with a new 17E with MagSafe and the color of pink. And also a new iPad Air with supercharged M4. So leave a comment down below and let me know which one are you looking forward to the most between all these products I just mentioned to you that Apple happens to be on their website already. You can pre-order these things and they'll be available by next week. Let me know what exactly is your point of view of which one are you actually really looking forward to the most, okay? Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. I'm Saxon Tech and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.